Here's how Nebraska farmers are bouncing back from this year's harvest season. The hot, dry weather with high winds made farmers worry a fire would take out their crops. Channel 8's Courtney Scornia is speaking with a farmer near Waverly about the struggles he overcame during harvest.
Farmer Tom Peterson tells me this year was one of the driest seasons he's seen in a while. But despite the inconvenient conditions, harvest season went better than expected.
You don't plan on a drought. You plan to raise a good crop and get enough moisture to get you through.
Tom Peterson says in the last 3 years, he's noticed a trend of dry harvest seasons. So this spring, he planned ahead.
When you start figuring out, okay, is this still going to be a dry year? We've had 2 in a row. Is there going to be another one? What do you do? So we kind of limited our seed population, like in corn. You don't want to push the high end of that. You can push your higher yields if you have enough water. But figuring we didn't have enough water, we kind of backed down just a little bit.
Another challenge he faced was fire risk. A fire started on his neighbor's land.
The neighbor over here, we had a problem with the combine. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was enough to start a fire, and it took off. I think it burned a total of, I've heard, around 300 acres. It was a hard one to stop that day with that wind.
Peterson tells me luckily he had finished harvesting in the area the day before.
But they lost some stock ground. I think some of the corn was standing corn that was still there. The one we was working with, we just combined that the day before and moved the machinery out of there in the morning.
He stopped harvesting for about 3 or 4 days due to the fire risk.
Everybody was a little worried. Several days. This wasn't the only fire. There was several around. And those days you just had to kind of shut down just as a precaution, just to make sure something didn't get away from you.
But thankfully, he was able to catch up without any problems. Because he started harvesting early, he finished early.
We ran those all together without breaks this year. We didn't get any rain delays, no big delays of any kind, really. So it was kind of a straight through harvest this year, which is unusual for us to do that.
Peterson tells me since harvest, he's been raising cattle, waiting for it to rain.
It was too dry before, when we got done with harvest, to do dirt work. You need a little moisture in the soil to be able to pack it and make things work in dirt. And without that moisture, we couldn't do a lot of that either. And now it's been raining ever since.
Right now, Peterson is waiting out the rain so he can start doing dirt work, and he's hoping next year won't be as dry. Reporting in Waverly, Courtney Scornia, Channel 8 News.